The thoughts, views, and opinions of SLYTalk are strictly those of the host and guest, and not necessarily those of the management and owners of More 94 FM. This is SLYTalk.
Relationship blues? Perplexed? Confused? Bothered? Hurt? Yeah. Sounds like you could use some SLYTalk. Here we go. More entertainment is definitely here on 194.9. You are all the way tuned into SLYTalk. It's always a pleasure having you kick it with us here on the hottest relationship talk show on the airways. I am your girl, Sly. If you missed the last show, no need to worry. We got you. Head on over to our YouTube page to catch all the previous episodes at SLYTalk. That's SLYTalk, all one word. Last week's topic: before I am your husband, I am a man. Treat me as such. Girls, if you care at all and want to understand how men really feel about subservience, this one is a must listen. Get on over to our YouTube page now for a replay of that episode. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Allen Young & Co., still hanging with us. AYC specializes in mass ironing, residential cleaning, made for a day or contractual cleaning, as well as spring cleaning. Give them a call today at 816-8171. That's 816-8171. As always, SLYTalk encourages you to join in as a pair and never alone. If you are unable to listen together, please ensure that your partner is at least locked in by radio on 194 for each episode of SLYTalk. If you have a friend you feel may benefit from today's discussion, go ahead and give them a call or WhatsApp them now and get them tuned into 194. And for the rest of you tuning in as a pair, hop in the car for that mid-afternoon drive, take out those wine glasses, and let's start this show. Turning the attention to my panelists today, we have Jackie, who is single. Hello.
Hi.
Terrio, who's always hanging with us. Terrio is divorced.
Hello.
Ooh.
That's deep.
Paradise Abaco. Many of you know Abaco from the Facebook following Real Questions Women Want Men to Answer. He is divorced.
Hello, listeners.
And, of course, I'm your girl, Sly. I'm happily married. We may get a visit from my girl, CC, sometime a little later, but that's not here or there. If you would like to call in during the show, remember the number to dial are 341-6673. That's 341-6673. Or you can send us a WhatsApp message at 816-8187. If you're rocking with the live, the number to dial is 9494. That's 9494. As always, hit us up on either of our social media handles to join the conversation as well. That's Facebook or Instagram at SLYTalk, SLYTalk. Passwords. Passwords are initially created, obviously, to protect personal information from intruders. Most persons, feel that intruders are pretty much strangers who can use the information access to do harm, be it steal funds from your personal bank account, hack into your email, or gain access to banking information, and stealing identity for those of you that may have lived previously in the United States. But have passwords become more than just a protection from strangers these days? Have we adopted the habit of keeping our partners, significant others, and loved ones, the ones we love, completely out of our personal space? WhatsApp passwords, picture folder passwords, phone passwords, email, computer passwords, Facebook, Instagram. It's a wonder we can keep up with all of them. But how healthy is it for the committed relationship? Could it be causing more harm than good? As always, you be the judge. Our topic for today is passwords and boundaries. Do they have a place in committed relationships? Charisma messaged us a little earlier as we began, and she says, I found a string of text messages between my husband and another woman. It was sexting, to be honest, and he seemed to be elaborately enjoying himself, to the point where he seemed to be participating, although in separate locations. I was crushed, needless to say, but instead of getting all emotional, I decided to offer him the same services. After all, it was clearly what he needed or wanted anyway. So I took to my WhatsApp one day while at work and began to text hubby the dirtiest messages, photos included, but he constantly changed the topic. He even at one point asked, what is wrong with you? If I didn't snoop, I would never have learned this. learned of his infidelity as well. So the question is, can snooping be beneficial at times?
I guess so. It can be beneficial, but it also can be detrimental or drama-filled as well.
How so?
You may misinterpret something that you read that may be between opposite sex that may not be intended to be for your eyes, and it may appear sexual, but it may be.
Come on now, how you gonna?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Finish. Like for instance, with Jackie, I may say something. Me and Jackie may have a off-the-wall relationship where we joke around, but we know we may be in both. We may both be in committed relationships, but it's just joking around.
But Jackie's not married, so it's okay. But you're.
I agree.
I'm not in a committed relationship.
Right, but we just may have a joking around relationship, whereas you may go into my email or whatever and read that and interpret that a wrong way. When
there's no way to interpret it other than what it is.
It wasn't meant for you to even read that, though.
Go ahead, let me hear why.
It wasn't meant for you to read it. It was a joke.
Yeah, but it shouldn't. Listen.
What do young people say? Getting off. You were just getting off. It wasn't meant.
But why are you getting off if you in a committed relationship? Get off with who you with, right?
No.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to get a good idea of what it is that you're saying.
Well, we can do that as well, but remember, when you're in a relationship, that don't mean that you no longer have an identity. I think what happens so much times in relationships, people tend to lose their identity, lose who they are as an individual.
So part of your identity is getting your rocks off with someone in a private message. Yeah, I'm trying to understand the whole scope of things.
Maybe, just like when you with the boys, when you with the boys, you may act a different way. But
why is that?
But that's just how we are as humans.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because commitment is a big part of the scheme of things here. If you're in a committed relationship, are you saying it's okay for you to have sexual conversations with another woman?
Because we don't live in a utopian world and we live in a real world, things happen. I mean, everything is not always black and white. So, of course, it'll be ideal that, of course, we'll separate the two and nothing never happens bad, but we live in a real world where we may joke around with the opposite sex. So I get
that part, but if you do play around.
Hold on. Whiffing means not actually going ahead and do anything.
Okay, would you categorize that as a mistake?
It wouldn't be a mistake if we joking around.
Okay.
I don't know how you joke.
So let me ask you a question. No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But let me ask you a question. If there was nowhere to hide, let's say for instance this was in the open, would there be an issue? You wouldn't have the weight of having to keep that secret if there was nowhere to hide it. Does that make sense? If there was no closed door, meaning a password or a closed entryway to be able to have that discussion behind closed doors or away from me being the person that you're committed to, would it be an issue? You creating issues.
It depends solely on your mate and how in tune your mate is with you. If your mate they knows that you joke around or whatever, and they know there's nothing to it. No. Like if for instance, if I'm with you and I know you flirt around, but there's nothing to that.
Okay, so if I'm with you and I know you flirt around, then you shouldn't want to hide that from me. If you do.
No, that's my point. So if
then what's the purpose of you doing it behind closed doors?
It's not. No. What I'm saying is one of the reasons why you could get in. You asked the initial question about passwords. Could passwords be beneficial or could it be whatever? And I said it could be beneficial and detrimental to a relationship as well, because you might go into my email or my password and misinterpret something that's
not misinterpreting though.
You know what? It's Sunday, and when you go to the Bible says, "What you seek, you will find." If you look in my phone for things that you think I'm doing, you will find it like by hook or crook. Because it's not because it's there. It could be a simple text.
You can't find nothing that ain't there.
It could be a simple text "Hey hun, how you doing today?" Jackie could have just been like, "Hey hun, how's things?" No, let's just say me and you dating, but you don't know Jackie. Jackie messaged me, "Hey hon, how you doing?" And see you because Jackie looked like a pie. That's why Jackie looks like a Debbie pie. So Jackie sends me a message.
We playing matchmaker up in there.
You look in the phone. You ain't realizing that it's no meaning behind the message. You just jump to the conclusion. Oh, who's this Jackie chick? Huh? Let me see how she looks.
Let's flip the script. Why all of a sudden it's all focus on the men?
No. We never said anything about male or female. I never said anything about male or female.
Women tend to get inappropriate messages all the time.
Absolutely.
But it don't necessarily mean. Listen, if you billing something or whatever, sometimes women tend to use their women ways to get certain things initiated. I mean, there's nothing going on, but she may flirt a little bit just to get a reduction.
And that's okay with you?
No, I'm just letting you know what, and I might go on that and read your email or your text and say, what the hell happened? And you might say, honey, we just get 50% off on these blocks you're trying to do.
Right, so what?
No,
does that make it okay because you got 50% off on some blocks?
Yes, if I get 50%, yes, it makes it okay.
Crazy. So let me ask you a question. How much do partners need to share? Let's talk about that. What do I need to share with my partner?
Just enough.
What is just enough?
Listen.
Give me an idea of what that means to you. What does just enough mean?
Listen, I think there should be boundaries in a relationship. I think healthy boundaries are always good because, like I said initially, you can lose yourself and morph into one individual. And this is why when people break up, they tend to take it so hard because they lost themselves in a relationship. And if the guy leaves them or if she cheats on him, some people tend to go psycho because they no longer know who they are. And so you need to set boundaries to whom you are and in relationships. So you will know where to go. And even in any country, you need to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing they can't identify as individuals in a relationship most times.
So you unite less in case you break up.
No, I'm not
saying
that. I'm saying, okay, instead of have you all under me sometimes, I recognize that, okay, on Fridays, you might want to go with your friends, whatever.
Every Friday?
Every other Friday. But I have to
every Friday?
Not every Friday.
He doesn't sound like someone that wants to be in a relationship.
I will say this about the every Fridays. That is another commitment. So I think that you have another commitment if you're going out with your girls or with your boys every Friday.
Because it shouldn't be
apart from your marriage.
It shouldn't be every single Friday. It's almost like that's another lifestyle that you're living.
It shouldn't be every Friday, but I maintain that you should also don't lose your personality. Don't lose who you are. Don't
lose your individuality.
I didn't say every Friday, but
that's important.
Yeah, you should make time to do things for yourself with other people. Because if you become so absorbed with another person and your dependence is relying upon you lose who you are.
But it's also unreasonable to expect that there will be no individuality in a committed relationship.
Right. But let me ask, where does the fair you think of sharing personal information come from? If this is someone you love and care about and moreover are committed to, where does the fair...
But you have to realize that there are some committed relationships, and using quotes for people who can't see me, are not so committed.
So I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Elaborate. Because commitment to me, let's define commitment. To me, commitment is I really love this female, I really love this male, and I have the potential of marrying them very soon, and very soon are married already. And by very soon, I'm talking within months. So that to me is a committed relationship. Anything outside of that, to me, you're still single.
Well, I think we'll be unrealistic if we don't kind of realize that in committed quotations relationships, there's a lot of deceit. So even though it is either perceived as committed or even in word it is said that it is a committed relationship, in truth there are a lot of non-committal committed relationships.
Well, that would explain a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to elaborate on. The whole password thing may speak to a larger issue in the relationship, mistrust. Because I was about to ask...
Why be with that person, though?
It's
that's what I'm saying, but I was about to ask, if you truly trust and love someone, why you need to have their password. Realistically, if you
well, it could go both ways. It could be why do you need their password or why do you need a password. So
yeah, why do you need a password?
Right, I agree. But I'm saying at the end of the day, if I love you and I trust you, I don't need to snoop. I don't need.
I agree that there shouldn't be a big issue about passwords. You could have it or you could not have it. It shouldn't matter that much. But I think with regards to what you said earlier, it is definitely just a small part of a bigger picture, which is it really a committed relationship? One, is there trust, etc. Those kinds of things.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Are boundaries bad for a relationship and marriages? Do you think are boundaries bad?
Boundaries are necessary for committed relationships.
So, okay.
Some boundaries.
Not necessarily password boundaries, but boundaries.
Yeah. I'm just kind of reflecting on, I don't know if, you guys remember or not, before we had smartphones, I was alive then, and, before we had, like, all of these passwords and all of these apps and all these different things where you could hide information and conceal stuff, there was open communication. That was, I'm talking to you and you're talking to me, and we had private time, and if you weren't on a telephone conversation or telephone call, I had your undivided attention.
Right.
Now, today, you're in the bed with whomever it is you're with, and they're like texting with you, or you
smartphone sense is made people more antisocial. They're more absorbed into the phone.
Right, but so the question is, if you are in a committed relationship and you're in your phone constantly, and I'm not in your phone with you, you're not talking to me. Mm-hmm. Who are you talking to? Is the great question?
You don't talking to anyone. You could be you could be playing games. You could be on YouTube. There's so many things.
But that removes you from the relationship.
When you say in bed, what do you mean?
Like laying together.
Like you mean like it's nighttime, you're watching television.
Yeah. And the person is texting.
Okay, well.
No, if you're texting, that's a different thing. I thought you were just saying in your phone, because you could not necessarily be texting anybody. You could be all on your phone.
You could have just been texting family or something. Who knows?
No, you're texting.
I found this too, right? That there's a lot of people that are in relationships that literally can't talk face to face. Like if they have an actual issue, they would text it to each other. Like, you go in this room, I go in this room, and we're texting. It's actually replaced conversation.
It's a lost art now. People are...
That's across the board.
Yeah, but I think that if you're in a relationship, if there is honesty, then there shouldn't be limitations per se, like your password, etc. It should be something where, as you say, listen, necessarily, like, if me and you together, my phone is there, I really don't need you answering my phone or doing any of this other stuff.
Like, why can't I answer your phone?
I said unless I...
That's a boundary.
That's a boundary, though.
Why?
Hold on, let me just say that. I'm just saying, in some cases, if we just started, I don't want you answering my phone and doing all this extra stuff.
Wait, what's the extra stuff?
Some people, listen, like, you go and they're in your phone,
Okay, before
because people get carried away sometimes, and you should have that level of trust. You should build a level of trust.
But what that have to do with trust? If your phone ring and you're not there, why can't I answer your phone?
If my phone ring and I ain't there, then my phone needs not be answered.
Why?
Because I wouldn't answer yours.
There's voicemail.
That's the point. Voicemail. Let it go to voicemail.
So you wouldn't answer mine because what?
That's your phone. I don't know the purpose of your conversation.
Do you realize?
Suppose that person calling you for something personal and I answer. You ain't suppose that's your side boo. Huh?
So why is this side
boo?
That's the problem right now.
Me and this man in a fight because you got all kind of side boys. So I ain't answer nobody's phone.
If there's a phone call and it's Becky,
I can tell you who's calling.
And you say, oh, wait a minute, I should get this one.
No, I'll tell you who's calling. When it's finished, I'll be like, hey.
Relationship. But so the question is, should there be privacy in relationships then, or some form of privacy when you're in a committed relationship?
Listen, there was a time when cell phones operated as cell phones, the way they were intended to be operated as.
How were they intended again?
Yeah.
They were supposed to be for instance, for a pager or something like that. We always had a home phone. Today, people don't use home phones at all.
Because nobody's at home.
Exactly.
We had telegraph.
Because nobody's at home.
Right. No one is at home, but more so, people feel like if I need to speak with Jackie, I'm calling Jackie.
Oh, I don't want her husband.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a good point.
So today, the home phone really is. I'm sure if I were to contact, the mobile companies, they're probably not seeing as much of an income from home phones. People
Some
are
people
very
actually living without home phones.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, if I see your phone ringing, my dear, and I pick up your phone, you're trying to tell me I can't answer your phone? That's what you're telling me?
You can't.
And I would want to know why.
Because
what?
Suppose you pick up the phone to someone I don't even want to speak to.
It doesn't matter.
No, let's be real. Suppose I was ducking this person and you, hello? Oh, he's in the back. No, I just lied to this person and tell him I'm in Jamaica.
When we had regular phones, our kids did that all the time. They would pick up the phone, they'd be hello, and you don't really want to talk to that person, and so you would whisper or do signs in the back of the phone, and you would be like, I'm not here.
Hold up, if I'm not home, they can't reach me either way. I can still ignore that call. But a cell phone is like personal.
Let's take
Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay, what would be the need to answer the spouse's phone? I'm just curious. Or your mate's phone. What would be the need?
Because he's not there. Because he's not in that particular place. He may be in a bathroom. He may be outside.
A lot of women tend to
he
do
may
that.
not want to miss that call.
But unless he's like a doctor that is on call and it's really an emergency.
Women do that to show
I don't personally see the need.
Women tend to do that to whoever calls and says, it's my man, buddy.
That's not true.
No,
I do it all the time.
That is true.
And sometimes it may be my husband's brother. It may be the contractor. It may be all sorts of different people calling that he doesn't want to miss. And I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, give me a second.
If you have that understanding with your husband, that would make sense.
But I'm asking, what is wrong with that?
Let me bring this full circle for you. Let me bring this full circle for you, right? Because you made a very valid point at the beginning of your sentence. You said that back in the days, they had pages, we had telegraphs, we had all these stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So you know what we have now? Smart phones. They are smart for a reason. They tell you who called you, when they called you, and how you can reach them back. So if I'm in a meeting, it's the equivalent. If I'm not there to answer my phone, then let it ring. It will say who called. And if it's important, I will call them back. I don't need you to answer the phone and, this person called and I talked to them. And I'll be like, I was not trying to even talk to this person.
Okay, so watch this.
Suppose you told your job you was sick and you laying home, you ain't tell me you sick, and I answer the phone. She right here, I'm jumping down doing backflips in the house.
I would never say
You'll be mad at me though.
But listen to me, okay? I really would like to understand if this is somebody that you really care about and their phone rings. Let's say, for instance, okay, so basically you're saying that they shouldn't answer your phone because if they answering it, it's probably because they're being nosy or they want to.
It's not a shouldn't. I wouldn't say shouldn't.
He said shouldn't.
I wouldn't say shouldn't because then that's very hard as well. It's a hard line. But what I'm saying is, I don't understand the need.
If I tell you answer the phone, like if I downstairs and say answer the phone, that's fine.
I've had instances where I didn't answer my husband's phone and he was like, well, why are you not answering the phone?
So that means that's
the understanding. Right, that's what I'm saying.
But all I'm asking is, why is it a problem? That's what I would like to know.
It's not really a problem. It's just...
I'm just asking. I'm asking for the person out there that has this issue.
I think some people who are very fixed on, I want the opportunity to answer my spouse's phone, my mate's phone, that is a reflection or a manifestation of something deeper.
Exactly.
Okay. Like there is a problem in the relationship that they're either not actually addressing
or
that they're really afraid of. So I think it's bigger than the issue of, can I answer the phone?
Fair enough. So you think there is underlying...
There has to be for someone who's, So
what about timestamps? Let's talk about timestamps. Persons...
What are the timestamps?
Pretty much, turning off the timestamp and you not being able to see what time they logged off of WhatsApp
WhatsApp probably, but you can't really turn off a timestamp.
I don't trust people that
take off the blue tick.
I don't trust them
and stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
That's just one platform, though.
They are very evil people.
I
think you're evil.
Mine off. I don't want.
I think
how do you feel about that, Jackie?
What's the point?
Oh my God!
Why are you sleeping?
No, I'm saying but that's evil.
Very, very bizarre.
Why do you not want someone to know if you read something?
I think it's bizarre to block someone seeing that you read something if it's set up for them to see that you read it.
You're in a social.
I just don't understand again. What's the purpose of that?
Why would you sign into a social app to become antisocial in the social app?
But you're still social because
you're still social because you're in it.
You realize that people do that to hide from whomever it is they're with.
Why?
Yeah, but to me
that goes back to there's something like Jackie was saying. There's something that's not being addressed in a relationship. You don't back when I was in a situation. I did it because the person was overbearing. Like, what are you doing? Why? So you did it.
They're clocking you. You feel
right, like they're
somebody-
stalking. So you sometimes. No, I'm just telling you. So sometimes you will do something like that just to kill the situation.
Hey, spoiler alert for everyone that's out there. Just in case you want to know how to still get the blue tick on them, send them a voice note. Because no matter what, it'll blue tick. And you still got them.
Not necessarily.
Don't leave us.
Watch it, try it.
More
I'll text you right
password
now.
codes revealed when SLYTalk returns with more relationship talk
We'll see,
after
my
these
fingers-
words from our sponsors.
Hey, you. Yeah, you in the car right now. You're listening to your favorite radio station, More 94. So guess what? Step out the car, pull out your smartphone, and keep listening. More music never stops. You can keep listening live on your phone with the More 94 mobile app.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's me, Sierra.
What up? It's yours truly, Kevin.net, and I want to remind you to download the More 94 mobile app to receive hot exclusives. Check this out. To your phone. More 94 Live. More entertainment is on More 94. Yours truly, Big L in the building alongside Kevin.net. It's the morning after show. Exclusive video stream. Now that's giving you more. Yeah, you know what it is. It's Rock Willie, and it's all about the More 94 mobile app. It's your boy Cam the Comfort checking in. Right there on the beat. Hey, yes sir. More 94. Download and install. Available in your Google Play and Apple App Store. So if your favorite song is on, keep listening by hopping on the More 94 mobile app and press play. More entertainment on More 94. Are you ready? Let's get started. Good morning. Here's what you missed on the Morning After Show.
Good morning. Speaking of God and all that good stuff, I know Camus. Really? Camus has a personal. What you do? Camus is anti-pastors who make a lot of money. I'm gonna just put it out there, lay the cards on the table. Us dancing around and stuff. But why you have a problem with pastors making money?
I don't have a problem.
Filthy rich. Who do you think?
Don't you dare. Let's go with the top 5 richest pastors in America. These are crazy numbers.
Why we can't go with the top 5 richest pastors in the Bible?
I don't know. I don't know.
We can guess. One in Pinewood. I know that.
Let's go to the US of A.
Point number 1.
Number 1 is Kenneth Copeland. $760 million.
There's no way. I'm really disappointed in Benny and now then.
I'm really reevaluating my career choice. More entertainment is on More 94. You're actually Big L in the building alongside Kevin.net. It's the Morning After Show. Get your dose for the Morning After Show weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Only on the station giving you more. You got it like that. More 94. Let's go. More entertainment. Go. More 94.
The entertainment capital of the Bahamas. Yeah. We built a better radio station to entertain you.
That's all of the plan.
More entertainment is on More 94.
Want to ask a question or contribute to today's show? The numbers to dial are 341-6673 or toll free 1-242-300-6673. WhatsApp a message at 816-8187. And we're back. Want to remind you that our sponsor for today is Allen Young & Co. If you're just joining us and want to be a part of the conversation, the numbers to dial are 341-6673. That's 341-6673. Or if you're rocking with a live, the number is 9494. Yes, 9494 for those of you that have a live phones. You can also WhatsApp us a message at 816-8187 or hit us up on our Facebook or Instagram platforms at SLYTalk. That's all one word. Our topic for today is passwords and boundaries. Do they have a place in committed relationships? Before we left, we were talking about blue ticks and, kind of concealing the fact that you read a message. How do we feel about that?
I feel, like if you have nothing to hide, what are you trying to conceal certain, ticks and stuff for anyway? I feel that speaks to, yet again, to something else that's going on. Why you're trying to conceal that you saw it or looking at, or even online. So I think that's something else that needs to be addressed, and why you're hiding from this person.
So you really don't think that WhatsApp and these other social platforms create some sort of suspicion and platform
Not necessarily, no. It's just, to me, it's just a different platform to communicate.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
Versus
another
texting?
avenue. It's just another avenue to communicate.
Yeah.
So I think the suspicion arises when you don't address something else. There had to be mistrust going on initially or beforehand, which gave you this suspicious attitude. Like, I wonder why it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Why is he on?
Why would you be? Help me with that.
No, but that's my point.
Help me with
That's
that.
where all that came from.
But help me with that.
Mm-hmm.
At what time? Is it appropriate?
No, but see, what
So,
even see.
Let me hear the question.
For someone in a committed relationship to come off of a social platform?
What?
I don't think there's a time. I don't think you're in prison.
I'm just asking.
You might go downstairs to go somewhere to use the bathroom, and then you may just open it up for a second, and you come on, you see me online.
Mm-hmm.
That don't necessarily mean that I was online straight through, or whatever. You might see, or you checked in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you get upset at your spouse or your significant other.
Who are you talking to?
Right, but that don't necessarily mean the person. They may have just turned over and checked the phone.
Well, I think it's strange if someone in a committed relationship stops by their computer at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think that's strange. I don't think that's necessary. Like, I
But
wouldn't.
it's mostly phones, though, I think.
Well, even my phone, I'm not going to actually log into something or open it up to look for something. So why would I pick up my phone at 3 a.m. to see something if it's there? So that's strange to me. But I do think that we have to judge by the generalities, not the exceptions. So it's not like, oh, don't ever. It's a rule. You cannot look at this at 3 a.m. But
would you be offended if the person that you're with, committed to, is constantly texting at 2 a.m.?
I wouldn't be with that person.
I don't know if you ask me why I on WhatsApp at 3 a.m. I'll say I picked it at the same time as you.
Really?
I was checking on you. You were checking on me.
She's talking about if you're living together and you see the person.
Oh, no. I mean, if you're living together, I mean.
I didn't know if you living together.
This is committed.
Married.
This is committed.
Committed relationship.
So committed.
I thought you just meant like if I'm home and you see. I thought like if I'm out, like if I'm living separate and you
that's
happen to pick up the phone.
Let's go there. If we're living separately.
If we're living, then you don't need to be worrying about why I'm on WhatsApp at 3, 4, or any o'clock.
Really?
No. I would
really?
3 a.m.?
No, it's the reason why I'm saying it is, if you were gonna wait, like let's put it like this, if you go to bed at 12 o'clock,
right,
and you wake up, and the first thing you do is let me go in my phone to see if this person is online. Think about that.
No, do people do that?
People do that. Like, that doesn't. How does that sound to you? Like, does that sound
They're just
sane?
the same as a person who goes on.
Hey, let me see what this person. Let me
But
see
you
if
do
this person is
realize,
gonna sound
that WhatsApp platforms are very different from Facebook platforms. I could go on a Facebook platform at 3 a.m. because I'm bored. I do it all the time. I go on a Facebook platform and I'm just...
Okay, if you're married and you're living with your husband, is he away or are you just bored at 3 in the morning?
No, like, for me, in terms of like 3 a.m., if you can't get to sleep and he's sleeping, snoring, and you just, chilling and just running through your timeline, that is very different from being on a
like that. I don't think that that's something that you should do as a rule. I don't think that it should be something that you. I mean, that's just really weird.
It is. I don't think it's. I don't personally think it's different to go between WhatsApp.
WhatsApp is a chat. WhatsApp is a chat. It means that you're having a Facebook conversation.
WhatsApp. That's what I'm saying. WhatsApp is a social media platform, the same as Facebook. The only difference is the level of media that is available on WhatsApp versus Facebook. You have the same options, You post videos on WhatsApp. No, you post videos, pictures, statuses, groups, audio. Everything is posted in WhatsApp. Right, it is just directed. Facebook is for a broader platform. Anybody, you could have the whole world view it, or you could just have your contacts view it.
Do you not have to open a direct chat in order to be able to facilitate
to communicate on Facebook
on WhatsApp?
You could open, but you could maybe be in groups on WhatsApp.
That's the point. What about groups? But you omitting groups just to talk about a person.
Okay, guys, are you saying that at 3 in the morning, most people are going to go on their phone to check WhatsApp?
Some people do.
I think that's weird. I think WhatsApp at 3 a.m. in the morning is weird. Facebook, however, even though Facebook, I think I would win that argument in court. If I said to you that Facebook and WhatsApp is different, I would win that in court. You know why? Because Facebook has a whole timeline you could run through all day, and at the end of the day, even though it has a messenger service. it's very easy for you to be just simply running
from an image standpoint.
If you feel like that, go on YouTube then.
From an image
Don't let me catch you on
standpoint,
Facebook.
how do you feel that you are representing your marriage if you're on Facebook regularly at 3 a.m.?
Looking at other people.
At all. If you're seen on Facebook at 3 a.m. on a regular basis, and when you send a message and it's recorded, it's 3 a.m., if that happens and people see a pattern that this is a married woman, but she's always up and on Facebook,
Liking
how do you think that looks?
liking other man pictures at 3 a.m.
Lord,
Oh, that's it.
How do you think
For
that
me,
looks?
for me, I did it while I was nursing. So I was nursing and I was up at a certain time constantly throughout
That's
the night.
exceptions, okay.
Or whatever. So it kept me up.
But you don't recommend it as a rule?
Oh no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. But I don't see it as so much of a problem as is WhatsApp. To me, WhatsApp is more of a direct conversation than Facebook is.
And that's where you're going to lose your case.
Yeah.
Because the two of them, I think, if it's an offense, if you want to call it an offense, I think it has to be broader than just depending on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
I think that as a rule, I don't think that committed people should make it a habit to go on these platforms at that hour. I just don't.
What do you think is a fair
Unless they're
cutoff
trying to
time
reach
for
the mate.
social media?
No, I don't want to say that. I don't think it's about timing.
it's not
I
about
think
timing.
it's about you have to just be
But
able
if you
to
say
call
3
it.
o'clock
I think
it's too late, then we have to have some
think you
sort
gotta
of
respect
idea
your
of
partner.
when.
But you have to, it has to be very loose. I mean, 3 a.m. is like dead in the middle of the night. It's like when
Morning.
everyone is
Dead in the middle of the morning.
I beg your pardon.
Mm-hmm.
It's when everyone is asleep
Mm-hmm.
and with their mate. So it's just not that time. I don't think that that's the appropriate time.
Again, and Sherron,
As a rule.
to back to your thing, remember, so WhatsApp has status too, so you could just watch people's status all night and laugh. And personally, I usually
Really?
I
Who
go,
does that?
It's like a
everybody,
television
that's
show.
like a television show now. You go and people say, you see it, you watch a whole person's life play out in 30 seconds. And it's funny as hell. I mean, if WhatsApp is incorporated,
It's
I mean, WhatsApp is owned by Facebook now too, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just another version of Facebook.
So listen, let me ask a question. How much, if you do not share, is offensive? If you do not share,
Say it one more time.
if you're in a committed relationship, how much, if I decide to withdraw from you, is offensive to you?
It's offensive to the relationship when you're not open and honest.
With how much?
Just generally. I think when we get in trouble when we start to put these lines like, okay, it's this amount, it's 10 times, it's not 20 times. I just think that generally you have to be open and honest. And there should always be room for exceptions.
If you and I dated and I said to you,
Remember, we're both females.
right? Yes, I do remember. So if
2017,
if me and a male, dated, and I said I didn't share my email password, should he be upset?
No.
Wow, what?
Say it again. Hold on.
Wait,
no,
what?
she says should a guy be mad if she doesn't share her email password?
A password, as far as I remember, is intentionally for yourself.
That's it.
One person.
But is it designed to conceal information from a stranger versus your
It's not
versus your
designed.
personal?
It's not designed to conceal information from anyone in particular. It's just designed for it to be personal and private to one person. That's yourself.
All right, so fair enough. So not sharing information should not infuse suspicion.
I think it's actually very suspicious if a guy is going to meet me and he's trying to date me, and every time he says, "Oh, I'm going to answer my phone. Oh, here you go. Here's my password. I'm going to check my email. Oh, here you go. Here's my password." He would scare me.
That's very
Yeah.
scary.
Yes, I would be
Because,
very
I mean,
afraid of him.
you're born with an identity. You're born with
Because
a
I don't know what it
social
means.
ID. You're born with a number. You're born separate and apart. You don't go to the bank and say, my name is Sherron Young Ontario. You're not going to do all that. You're going to be you. Like, have your account. Seriously, have your account.
Ontario.
Have your life. Because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, you still got to be on your own. People just don't know how to separate the two. You got to have separation sometimes. There's nothing wrong with it.
But a big, healthy part of relationships is keeping your individuality, but not to the point that it interferes with your commitment.
But how far? Because I was asked this question. How far into the relationship do you share your ATM code?
Hey, listen.
This is your theory.
People in money. That's a whole entirely different thing.
Real talk, right? I personally feel if you ain't got no money in the first place, you can get in that password real fast. They may be able to put something on that account for you real quick.
So you're saying basically, in your book, it's okay?
I mean, no. I mean, let me put it like this to you. I think depending on the type of relationship you have and the type of person you're in a relationship with, you will find that, at times you're going to want to, if you have that relationship where you're going to be paying for stuff, or you're doing stuff, then yeah, by all means, here, go get the money. That's what you got to do. Because right now, the way that things are set up, you have monitoring. You can prove and do anything.
So it's conditional?
Yeah, it's conditional. It's not
really?
But it's not like you meet a person today and you're like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Here's my account number and my ATM password, girl. Just go crazy.
So shallow.
That'll be really, really shallow. But I think in
desperate.
yeah, when you get to a certain point, some people y'all will give social media passwords. Y'all will give email passwords. That is your literal private life. And some people if you understand how social media works and how access to your personal space works, we give people a lot real fast. Real fast.
True.
You put people on
That's a very good point.
You put people on real fast, and money is something you could that has more insurance than your name does.
But can you lose yourself though? I mean, in a relationship, if you tend to give everything away, can you lose yourself?
You can lose yourself, and that's why when relationships end, people go retarded.
But let me ask you a question.
You think that's why?
I think so. Sometimes
And Jackie said it best
you're not yourself
earlier
anymore.
in the conversation. She said, "Do you withdraw, from being holistically involved with this person,
to protect
your heart or whatever if you broke up?" It's very important to me. Personally, I think it's very important to be able to give your all, even though that may be a situation where you get hurt. It's a learning experience. It's a learning experience to be able to put yourself out there.
I can see that, because I think you should give everything.
So you only give it a little bit.
No, you don't. No, let's not be special here. You don't give it all.
I mean,
Okay? No. Let's be.
So you're getting married to live halfway.
No, let's be factual. Let us be. Can you
Let's
give?
be factual.
You light skin, I dark skin. Can you give me light skinnedness?
No, I think
not. Only
hold
up. No, let's be fair. Only Cake Soap can do that. What I'm trying to say is Cake Soap, 5 Star Hotel. Y'all know about this stuff. What I'm saying is, you are who you are. There are certain things that you share with me. There are certain things that I share with you. There are certain things that I know, but they do not belong to me about you.
Do you think that two people ever become one?
You do, but it's just in what context. You don't want to become one with a person where that person has complete autonomy of your person. That's not what a relationship is about. A relationship is, I am myself, you are yourself, but I choose to act in your best. I would like to be. No, I'm saying, but it's a decision. It shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be. No, I'm saying it shouldn't be something where
she said when you choose someone, are you going to be one with them and go all out?
But that doesn't make it like
go all out. Is better than saying giving your all.
You give your all. What I'm saying, I give my all. What I'll do is what I'm saying. What old people would do is, when people get together, they make like one password. So it'll be like Jackie and O. Like JackieO at hotmail.com. You got one email now, so let's screw out 2 emails. I'm gonna have my Ontario, and you're gonna have your Jackie at gmail.com. We got JackieO.
So what?
Now we got one email, right?
Some couples actually do that.
Some couples do.
I know.
Some couples get one phone. They'll get one cell phone. Just be like, we're not gonna have a separate phone. No, it's not. I'm saying though, but that's a personal choice.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying? But when you get, it's the dynamics of today's society when there's a lot of things that are open to misinterpretation.
Yeah.
That you can look at a message that means absolutely nothing and take a lot more from it. And you could really ruin your relationship like that too.
The answer to that is not necessarily blocking them from seeing the communication. The answer to that is dealing with that issue.
Right.
Head on. A lot of people tend to brush it under the rug and don't deal with it. And try to.
The issue's still there, even though that they're not seeing it. Right. The issue still is there. It's lurking.
But I just think that when you get with a person, you should be open and honest enough to say, listen, this is what I expect from you. Carry yourself accordingly.
I don't think people have those conversations.
I don't really. I'm saying,
people don't date anymore.
They don't date because the day that I take you out to Bamboo once. Sorry, let me not say Bamboo because that's the lower end. I take you out to Bimini Road or anywhere over Atlantis.
Bamboo's the lower end.
Know what I'm saying? Because you take any girl to Bamboo, they don't call that a date. That's like the color special. You just buy them that and you drop the food off. But if I take you to dinner, usually you take a person to dinner once, y'all dating.
You court. pursue
that's
it.
basketball court. But we take a person out once, and that's it. Like she just block everybody. I don't want nobody else to watch you.
I think that goes down to communication. See, I think we failing to understand communication is paramount in anything, and I think people don't. Now you could make an argument that people don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
But I think if a lot of these issues could be avoided if you simply just said that stuff for a second and actually have a conversation with the person that you're pursuing.
And there are people who are communicating, though, but I think the issue that Ontario was making is people don't date, which means, let's just say you meet someone yesterday and you got the number, and so next week you met someone else, but you've already texted the other girl. You don't have to not text the other girl because you met someone last week because you're still uncommitted.
Right.
And so it's okay until you get to the point with someone where you say, oh, you know what, this is the person I've identified that I want to be the one I want to have a relationship with. Until then, it's okay.
But you see how that could be a problem if I'm the first girl and I pick up your phone and I
Why
see
would you pick up my... Whoa. Why would you pick up
I'm just
the
saying.
phone of someone you met a week ago? Or even...
I'm just using it as a scenario. If she was to be able to see that you were talking to someone else...
It's none of her business.
But does it mean that you're not taking her seriously?
But... No, it means I just met you last week.
Exactly.
But it doesn't say that, though. She already got you.
She already got you. You know what that sounds like?
If I assume, because I met him last week and he texted me...
But is it a cultural thing?
But if I assume that he's my man, because he texted me and told me he likes me and he wants I want to take you out, he's not my man.
Right, but she might be considering him to be something more...
She should consider him. And she would be a fool not to let it interfere with her considering him because he talked to another woman.
Right.
I just met him last week.
Exactly. She probably already got Sherron on like them said who got Snapchat filter, but the thing over the head, and she got him like husband. That's my husband, right? That's my future husband, future baby daddy to drop me off the bamboo.
No one can tell another woman that a guy. There's no one better to tell another woman that I, the guy, am taken than the guy.
Right.
The guy has to do
very
that.
valid point.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest problems that a lot of people have over here. We want to have ownership so fast. Like we want to lock something down so fast that it makes no sense.
So let me ask a question. Let me ask a really, really big question.
Oh
Lord.
So you have a password for your phone, and after you get through your password, so when you go into your phone and you open up your password, you go in and there's a password for WhatsApp, there's a password for your pictures, there's a password for this. There's also females that are indicated in there under male names. What's that about?
No, I'm saying like something like that, then you need to run.
Well, that's obvious.
That's a person who got some real issues.
Hold on. What stage of this relationship you're in? Is this the infancy stages? Because
this is all committed.
I personally,
no, that's an issue.
No, I mean personally, I don't care what level of relationship you're in. If a person I'm dead serious.
I think it matters.
I don't. If you're in the infancy stage and you single, what you got women say was mine for on your phone?
No, listen. If you in
your past relationship, you never changed it back.
Right.
You got issues.
That's a good one.
That's some weird stuff. No way.
No, but what I'm saying is alright, if just starting to date and I was a playboy back in the day, that's the infancy stage. That's what I meant. But as I get deeper and more committed, I'm gonna the black book or whatever you want to call it back in the day. I'll delete, clean, whatever. So if they go into my phone in the infancy stage, you might see some weird stuff, some photos you're not supposed to be seeing.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons. So I always say,
as a rule, you don't do it.
Don't do it.
In the infancy.
Tamika from our Facebook page inboxed us and says, is it being nosy to want to be a part of your partner's everyday life? What is the point of being together if you're essentially by way of passwords and boundaries apart?
Being a stalker is different. I mean, what do you mean by if you're going into my phone every day to find something, I think that's a totally different thing. But if I have no problem with you being a part of my life. What if you put her there?
What if you've put the person that you're with at that point where she has to? Yeah. What if you've given her reason to doubt you?
Well, I think this is where we need to sit down and address that issue there. And like
but does that eliminate her insecurities? I mean, even though you address it, does that eliminate the insecurities that she has and you know, her need to see, you know, what is he really doing?
Okay, so to answer her question, she's asking, is it nosy? I think that it is the wrong way to approach the problem. I don't have to necessarily go and snoop around if I have mistrust issues. I think that people have to not be afraid to address their problems in a relationship and say, you know what, I don't trust my husband, or I don't trust my mate, and I think I need to have a talk with him, or I think I need to address it. I think that we have to stop running away from the issues and take them and address them head on and stop snooping around. I don't believe in snooping around.
But does a conversation like that always end? We're gonna head into a break, but I want to ask a question right after this break. Does that always end well when you open the conversation? Hold a moment. We're gonna answer that in a minute. Don't leave us. More password codes revealed when SLYTalk returns with more relationship talk after these words from our sponsors.
You in the car right now. You're listening to your favorite radio station, More 94. So guess what? Step out the car, pull out your smartphone, and keep listening. More music never stops. You can keep listening live on your phone with the More 94 mobile app.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's me, Sierra.
What up? It's yours truly, Killers.net, and I want to remind you to download the More 94 mobile app to receive hot exclusives and rush out to your phone. More 94 Live. More entertainment is on More 94. Yours truly, Big L in the building alongside Killers.net. It's the morning after show. Exclusive video stream. Now that's giving you more. Yeah, you know what it is. It's Rock Willie, and it's all about the More 94 mobile app. It's your boy Cam Comfort checking in. Right there on the beat. Hey, just search More 94, download and install. Available in your Google Play and Apple App Store. So if your favorite song is on, keep listening by hopping on the More 94 mobile app and press play. More entertainment on More 94.
This is More 94, a service of More FM Company Limited, New Providence, Bahamas. Reach our studios at 242-341-6673 or our corporate offices at 242-361-2447. Email us at media@more94fm.com and find us on the web at www.more94fm.com. We're the Bahamas Superstation.
Want to ask a question or contribute to today's show? The numbers to dial are 341-6673 or toll free 1-242-300-6673. WhatsApp a message at 816-8187. And we're back. Remember the numbers to dial if you want to call in is 341-6673 or feel free to WhatsApp us at 816-8187. If you're hanging with the live, the number to dial is 9494 only. Those four numbers, 9494, to call in if you're having a live phone. Before we left, the conversation took a spin. You know, if you're having a conversation with the person that you're with and you feel insecure, you know, does that conversation always end the way you want it to end? Making you feel secure, does it remove the need for you to snoop?
Well, your goal would be to resolve it and the issue. And sometimes that's a process and it takes time. Mm-hmm. So it's up to the two people whether or not at the end it will end well. And what does end well mean? Does end well mean we're not going to talk about it after today? Does end well mean we're not going to have the problem anymore? So whether or not it ends well is up to the two persons in the relationship. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think end well is making me feel less insecure about your cheating.
Is that something that falls on the person that was...
Well,
that did
if I really,
that's a good question.
Does it fall on that person?
But if I actually went out there and cheat, I think some of the responsibility, because I've been there and I betrayed you, so I think some of the onus or some of the responsibility does fall on the person who went out there and broke the trust a little bit.
A little bit.
And broken trust is not only as a result of cheating.
That's true too.
Broken trust could develop in other issues like secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
You're just very secretive and you're not open.
And
that also
sleeping with phones under the pillow. What's that about?
And finding
That's
out your woman
dangerous,
has
It is. Oh yeah, we know.
and finding out your woman have 2 Swiss accounts that you know nothing about.
Oh, well, that's a good surprise.
For her.
I wish I had a woman with 2. So let me stop that. That would be. Let me stop.
So if your maid is like back and forth to the bathroom with the phone, to the car with the phone, like on their hip constantly, sleeping with the phone, you can't see this phone.
A doctor?
No, this is just a regular
person.
Regular person.
I think
a wannabe doctor.
Sounds like a love doctor, night nurse and stuff.
Would that infuse some degree of suspicion?
Right, especially when you met this person, if they never did it before. If you met them and the phone used to be all true and all about it, and all of a sudden you notice a change, I think that's cause for concern. People tend to change in relationships, but if you see this person always, it goes back to knowing your mate. If you knew your mate never checked for the gym or certain things, and all of a sudden she all in the gym or he's all getting buffed. So hold on, buddy. Especially if they don't incorporate you in that. They don't say, "Let's go, Jackie."
Kansas says from our WhatsApp platform says my wife is in a family group, and I'm not in the same group. I see this as a boundary and an indicator that I'm not a part of certain facets of her life. Should I be upset about this? Because it kind of hurts my feelings to know that she's in a family group and she leaves me out of it. Is that nitpicking?
That dude got some issues.
Okay. It could be something else.
He sounds like the wife.
But we take offense to that.
By stuff like that.
Why?
But hold on a minute, though. If it's the family group, is it like, for instance, I have a family group chat with just my sisters. It's just the sisters. So the ones who are married, their husbands are not included. So that's just automatically they're not included. That's different. We talk about stuff like, our parents and that sort of stuff. So what I'm saying is if it's a wide family group where the extended family is included and he's not, I think that he should have
But
an
does he
offense
ask? Is he allowed to ask that question?
Well, he should not be in a relationship if he's not allowed to talk about something that bothers him.
What's that all about?
What do you mean, is he allowed to ask?
I mean, my personal opinion on that is like, if you got a family group, and that's your family group. Like, I married you, sure. Yes, we got married or whatever.
Your family.
That's still your family. If they want, that's you talking about your family secrets and whatever y'all got to talk about.
No,
it's a big difference for me.
Jackie was saying it depends on if you in the family group and all the husbands and wives and if she excludes you, that's an issue.
That's what I'm saying, but that's one part of it. That's just another part of it. Now, if you said, okay, well, this person's husband is in there, and then I'll be like, well, you ain't out me yet. Like, what's the big deal? Especially if you in there all day. I'm be like,
everybody else.
Exactly, back and forth all day.
Don't let Tony, your sister husband, got to come to me and be like, boy, you ain't had a joke with in the group. Yes. And no, because y'all didn't invite me in it yet. I'll be so salty. Morton will sell me.
But I have a question. Lord. Go ahead.
I mean, that's it.
I have a question for the texter. That's such a simple issue. How come that has not been addressed with his wife?
I don't know if people, really talk about everything. I think some things they keep.
But that's a problem, because I think once it bothers you enough that you would text a talk show and ask the question, that means it's enough for you to ask. And I think that you can't be afraid to ask because you think your spouse will say it's not a big deal.
Yeah, people see it as nitpicking.
Yeah,
but
he's nagging.
Well, you think that's a nagging thing?
I don't think so. There's a double standard when it comes to men and women. A woman could do certain things and it wouldn't be nagging.
Nagging is continuous, but to address it is just you asking the question, putting it on the table. You shouldn't be afraid to put anything on the table once.
I totally agree. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my panelists, Terrio, Jackie, and Abaco for being a part of today's show. It's always copacetic hanging with you guys. You are the coolest bunch of people ever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Something has changed for sure. We are in a day of complete and deliberate barriers, and unapologetically so. But is it a strain on our relationships where trust is concerned? Does it play on your thoughts and force you to consider the worst first? If you're committed to someone, whether by marriage or exclusive dating, this is in itself a clear indicator that you are desirous of sharing yourself with that individual that you've chosen. How do you really share yourself holistically without opening some doors, ask yourself that. We do not open signs on some doors and open the signs on other doors. Wouldn't you be a little confused as to which doors to open or to push? Some would beg the answer to the question, if you have nothing to hide, then what is the reason for hiding it? And others say, relationships or not, I am an individual before I'm your partner. Some things should be private. Not sure everyone will come to the same terms on this matter, but I implore you, consider what your passwords and barriers do to your partner. If it infuses distrust and you love the person you're with, toss the passwords and open the doors. Until next time, love heart. I'm your girl Sly. Thanks for tuning in. This is SLYTalk. Heard here today and want to be a part of the steamy conversations discussed here on SLYTalk? Like us, follow us, and join the conversation on Facebook or on Instagram at SLYTalk. Also, visit the SLYTalk YouTube page for today's show and previous SLYTalk episodes. Never miss another show.